heard me. I talked to you about it straight away. I'm like, they buffed this hero? This hero is so broken. And then, yeah. I mean, I appreciate it, Ice Frog. Please don't revert those changes.
Raise Blood Rage. Make it 50%. Make us see Bloodseeker's use again.
I think Satoshi's blood is about to rage you, John. It's yeah, he got back straight away.
That is like the actual first hit in the game, Bash. What the hell? What is that? How?
17%. 17%, sir.
I'm pretty sure it's, PRNG, so it's actually less than 17% in your first hit, right? Unless is Spirit Breaker's Bash the one that's still purely RNG? I forget now.
I don't do the math, Jonathan. I just hit people and bash. That's all I do. I don't know how this bash works.
I know we have only one true random bash. I think Spirit Breaker is PRNG. It's like it should be like a scaling, and averages out to 17% over certain hits. But I forget. Like that. Still, to get the first hit bash overall, like I'm mind blown. I've never seen that.
I mean, regardless, they would have had the kill anyway. It's not like the bash caused the kill, to be fair, you know?
But so you have to appreciate it. Minute 0, first hit of the game overall.
I like it. I'm happy. It's my hero, John. Mid lane. 2 more heroes here. Dendi and Storm going to be going at it. So Dendi and Steel, though it is a Storm Spirit to be fair. So the Pango versus Storm Spirit matchup, John, how do you feel about this one?
Feels pretty decent for a Storm. Pangolier shouldn't be completely shoved out, although again, we've seen some Storms actually push this really well, just spamming out the Remnants to get an early advantage. By the time you hit level 3 on Steel, you can harass back on Dendi at the same time. Dendi can maintain spacing. If he lands his harassment with Swash and Shield Crash, he shouldn't be too bad off, but still doing a good job. Now that level 2 is up, to actually drop Dendi down quite a fair bit and just make it awkward. Like, if this ramp up to level 3 is a lot faster for Steel, then that's where the Pangolier starts to hurt. Beyond that, it can just devolve into a farming lane as well, a race to level 6 kind of lane as we tend to see.
Oh, Satoshi, blast off is there. Bottom lane, they are going to find Satoshi down. Beastmaster is going to drop. It's a really strong lane as well. Like, I want to talk about this bot lane because Keki's Bloodseeker is a really, really hard lane to go against. So you get the sticky bomb slow into the blood right, and then you just blast off. It's almost a guaranteed kill, and you're going to get to see it now. That started off with a sticky bomb into a blast off, and then a blood right. And there's just no escape from it. The amount of damage you pump out within 2 seconds, it is ridiculous, even at level 1, or rather level 2, I should say.
And it's a positive feedback loop. You do damage, your Bloodseeker starts to move faster, he can gap close. There again.
Yeah, Braxy is gone. As much as I love complaining about Pos 1 Bloodseeker and how trash I think it is, this is the one time I enjoy playing with a Pos 1 Bloodseeker. If I'm playing +5 techies, John, oh man, it's so fun. It's so much fun.
It's just constant harassment, constant damage flying out. Lowdown is pretty damn low now. You've got the damage on Braxy to kind of chase, but he's still stuck at level 1. He doesn't have the Arcane Ball to try to clean up that kill. You've got the Tangos ready on Lowdown to soak up. Anyway, a strong start from Bait. 3-0 right now. All their lanes kind of feeling good. The top lane for Funnick looking pretty smooth as well on that snap. Level 3 up and running. Blessed Kid still farming. But you can't really stop the Snapfire either. I mean, you can try to threaten with some levels of meld. You don't really have that for Blessed Kid, so it just evolves into a farm lane, which you don't mind as a Snapfire. You just kind of hold the lane, get your levels up. Stominan's free to kind of walk around. And at some point, if you can connect the cookie and charge, that's when things can go south very fast for Alpha, if the luck is still there.
Satoshi copying a fair bit of damage. They were trying to go on to Lowdyne, who's might need a reset at this point. Like Lowdyne, he's sticking around. I feel like you either deny yourself or you run back to Fountain, because you don't want to stick around and waste time like this as a techies. And he's going to at least run back towards the Fountain, I think. So happy days for him. I just think with a lane this strong, you just don't need to waste time standing there. Like, just get your mana, your spells back up, and then move back down bot lane. You know?
Just keep the harassment going. Keep giving Stonebank what he needs. Keep getting all these heroes low. They do find Stoneman up top. Let's get barely sneaking out with that one.
Very, very nice. Funny, didn't really have any more spells to throw out, sadly, so had to watch Blessed Kid walk away. Stominant at least has the brown boots up, so he's a happy Spirit Breaker right now as Alpha. Rather, Dendi getting quite low in the mid lane, but is going to be fine. Lodine will fill up the bottle for Dendi. Even leave a sticky bomb on his way out, why the hell not? It's a 3-1 right now. 1k advantage the way of bait. Things are going relatively well. Though you look at the CS of Alpha from the mid and the safe lane, things are going very well for them. Though as I say that, Blessed Kid and Tokaya both getting extremely low. Able to walk away. Blessed Kid playing with fire now as he does move back up. Realizes he can't really stick around for the CS, so probably will just head to the jungle. As Charge is out. They've got the vision. Blessed Kid refracts again. Cookie off the mark. But I think Blessed Kid surely just dies here, and he will. Stominant, nice charge out. And they didn't even have vision. They didn't have wards around. In fact, it was literally just he showed up for a second out of the fog. And Stominant must have just been ready with the charge. He probably was spam clicking that area.
Yeah, we were just ready. Maybe a bit of a misplay earlier on as well. They interrupted the charge initially from that first jump in with a cookie instead of waiting for the charge to connect and then go for the cookie play. So not getting as much stuns as he could have, but still pans out in the end. They're applying that pressure onto the TA. Again, every lane coming out here strongly for bait.
Low dine's here as well, John. Blessed Kid's in trouble. Blast off. It's going to be cancelled by Tokaya. Thing is, it wouldn't have done any damage anyway, because he had refraction. He just wanted it for the stun. And Blessed Kid, well, this is one of the most depressing feelings in Dota 2 is when you end up TPing back to the lane and end up dying straight away. But that's exactly what will happen here. As Tokaya might also drop. Meanwhile, mid lane, they are fighting it out a little bit. Tokaya is going to try for the deny, won't get it. Mid lane, Dendi, still being chased down, is going to drop though. So a nice trade, but now Still's in trouble. Stominant with a charge in. Still, he does have a Fairy Fire though, so he is going to be able to walk away from this. Sadly, Stominant unable to get the job done.
Yeah, just falling a little bit short. I mean, if he did connect that attack onto Steel, he'd have gotten the bash. He did bash up Braxy on his way out there. So it might have led to that kill. Still missing an opportunity. That is the one shining lane for Alpha right now. The lane of Steel up against Dendi. Granted, the hero matchup is a little bit better off for the Storm. You know, we talked about it. You do have a lot of harassment to apply onto these melee heroes. But that's the only thing that's working out right now for Alpha. Stonebank freely farming down bot. 4k in the bank already. Javelin up. Maelstrom not too far off. You're really not pressuring him as Satoshi right now. He does go for the Axis build. You can try to apply harass and might have to watch himself with a charge and TP here.
Oh, there's your rupture out. Satoshi. Oh, he tried for the TP immediately. Stominant just charges right in as he clicks the TP button. Very unfortunate there for Satoshi. So now it's a 4k advantage the way of bait. Things are still looking very, very strong on their end of things, and I don't know. I mean, Stonebank's getting way too much farm on this Bloodseeker. Like he's gonna get out of control pretty quickly, I think, when you compare the farm to, say, the TA.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot faster for Stonebank to meet those initial timings. Again, Maelstrom timing for him is lining up. The TA can go into the jungle rather early. You've got the levels in the refraction to kind of get that done. Level 1 Sideblades does mean it's not as fast as it could be, but it's not too bad as well. 7-2 start for bait. 3k advantage as they just keep charging in with Stominant.
Well, they can't hit Steel. He will just zip to avoid the stun from Stominant. That's the one saving grace is the fact that you can't really land the charge in the Storm as long as he's got mana and he sees you. But you can go Shadowblade build up on Stominant, and that's the answer generally to a Storm Spirit. Stominant, he'll get some deep wards down. So they just want to try and keep hunting down Blessed Kid if they can, and that is probably the right play, because you know he's going to farm this area. Charge in, Braxy's going to get caught. Braxy tries for a deny, is not going to find it. Lodine able to take him out. More TPs incoming up towards the top lane as they'll try to jump Funnick here, but it's only still on his own trying to get this done with an Arcane Rune, mind you, but the blast off is going to land. Funnick still running. Charge is going to land as well. It's not enough though. Still is doing some fantastic work as he will find a double kill for his side and successfully will defend the top tier 1 tower.
And stave off that aggression from the side of Bait. They get the deny on top of that. Good punishment coming out from Alpha. Finding some small openings here and there and getting themselves some room to get the blessed kid going. There is a ward spotting his every movement out though. So at some point Bait can just go for the smoke play, start to rotate in. And again, even though you're pressuring top, relieving some of the pressure on Blessed Kid, Stonebank is still running away with his build-up. BKB coming after the Maelstrom. Gonna feel really good in the middle of these fights.
Oh,
you have to make that choice down the line.
Hard times here for Satoshi as he is going to drop. The Beastmaster gone. Stonebank able to pick up another one, and as the Beastmaster, like after this kind of laning stage, you've just got to leave. Like it's time to go jungle. He's got plenty of stacks now being made by Tokaya, but I think Bait are pretty well aware that the stacks are there, so they're moving in. This is really unfortunate if they lose these stacks. I mean, even just the large camp being taken would be absolutely huge here from Bait. And I think Alpha, they need to fight this. This is too much golden XP to be given away for free. They're going to show up with Steel. Charge out from Stominant right onto the Rubik, but he's gone maybe a little bit early. Still the blast off is there from Lowdyne. It's Praxi. He's going to get caught in the Skywrath Mage, but Stominant is still in danger. But no, he's walking away. Roar out. Instead, they're going to try for the Pangolier, and maybe Dendy's overextended. As Dendy will go down. Alpha, they have successfully defended the triangle, at least for now. As Lowdyne will also drop, but here comes Stonebank. Steel is very low on mana. Will Mango up and go back to the high ground. But it's still a team fight win for Alpha overall. They do lose some of the large camp creeps, but at the very least, they still have the Ancients. Sad reality is, though, this Beastmaster can't go for the Ancients because his TA is going to take them instead.
They have to. I mean, they have to clear it out. They know Bait is aware of the stacks. So just take it. You don't mind giving Blessed Kid all of this farm anyway. Has the Dragonlance, going for the Desolator build-up. And once you have that Deso, it becomes easier to threaten Roshan after a good team fight. Open up some objectives as well. They just keep going, though.
They do. Mid lane, or rather bottom lane, Satoshi again just cannot catch a break. Stakaya does at least get the Nether Strike, so Stonebank now in danger. Not quite enough. Like, they just don't have the damage to deal with him right now. And I feel what happens to Alpha once Stonebank has his BKB up. Like, it really does feel like you just won't have an answer once he rushes into a team fight with the BKB.
Yeah, it makes them have to choose. Like, who do you really want to roar? Do you want to stop the BKB Bloodseeker? Do you want to stop the Pango mid-roll? Like, both sound like good choices, but you can only stop one. You've always got at least one of these things having impact in the middle of the fights for the side of Bait. And for Alpha, when they're doing a good job of trying to recover, the lead hasn't grown for Bait. It's been stuck at 3k despite the back and forth. So they're not able to widen that gap and get themselves a bigger advantage. That does mean Alpha, to an extent, is keeping up. To an extent, they're recovering pretty damn well. Steel is going back for his full Witchblade, not too far off. Probably going to look for the Falcon Blade on top of that as well. Although I believe the item order is a little bit reversed here for Steel. Shouldn't be the biggest issue in the world. And the only hurting point now for Alpha is still just Satoshi's performance. When his Beastmaster didn't have the best lane, at the least he has Vanguard. He's just going for the utility, going for the auras coming out. So not really banking on any sensitive, say, blink timings here. That does mean you're pretty all right to just look for a slower game out from Alpha. For the side of Bait, though, full diffusal up on Dendy. So the inhibit is ready to go. He's got some good stacks to clear out as well. A nice gold injection coming out here from Lowdyne.
Absolutely. A lot of gold here for Lowdyne and Dendy. We'll go ahead and secure. Mostly Dendy will. Lowdyne got a couple. Happy days for him. Alpha still just trying to buy time, right? Like, you've still got a TA. You still got a Storm. Just want to give Blessed Kid at least the time to get to the point where he can start to feel like he's doing some damage. That's the Desolator timing. Obviously, he probably will want a Blink or BKB after that. More importantly, probably the BKB, but the beggars can't be choosers, John. He might need to get involved once the Deso is up, as Takaya, sadly, has been involved in this death of his, as Dendy's going to take a kill off him. Steel pops a shield rune and is going to jump in onto Lodine with the Mystic Flare set up there. Lodine barely going down, as Steel running out of mana now. Charge is going to connect just in the nick of time. He'll still have enough to zip away just barely, but Dendy is chasing him down, purges him up. Roar is committed here by our Beastmaster. Still has just enough to keep running. The swashbuckle will connect from Dendy, but he is back towards the base. Stominant will charge right in. There is no escape for Steel. Leave the man alone. He's had enough. Meanwhile, mid lane, Blessed Kid, sadly, is not going to get Dendy. Might find Funnick though. Swashbuckle connecting. No disarm out from Dendy. So Funnick will drop. But it still seems to be a pretty relatively big win here for the side of Bait.
Yeah, but again, they're just able to play aggressively really easily with their lineup on Bait. As long as you get a good charge angle in, you disrupt these fights, you feel pretty damn good on that Spirit Breaker. Does look like we are also getting from Stominant that Silver Edge, or at least a Shadow Blade coming out here early on to have that solution for the instant control onto our Storm. So things are lining up for Bait. They widen the lead now to 6k. So we are seeing, again, just a ramp up in the resources now for the side of Bait. I do like that Stonebank is going for the Heaven's Halberd. Just have the disarm ready for the TA. That tends to just ruin TA in her timings. It's Stominant charging all the way across.
Oh, nice charge. Very nice charge landing on two. Nether Strike going to land on Takaya. Takaya actually walking out of range, but will still go down as Stominant is being targeted by Steel, but he needs to zip out. He's out of mana. Lodine connects with the blast off, and now they've lost Satoshi. Oh, it's just... I mean, it was a very nice setup from Stominant. But the fight back from Alpha, it's not recommended at the moment, to say the least.
Yeah, it just doesn't pan out because they're just not ready to take these fights. You know, their lineup needs a little bit more form. You're running a Storm and TA. Like, even if you have this Roar Mystic Flare setup, we don't see it often enough. It feels like they're not clumping around these cooldowns as well as you'd want them to on the side of Alpha and Bait. They're just able to dictate. You know, you have charge off cooldown, you go again, and you just keep going. It doesn't matter. You just keep running in. Your team will back you up. They've played around that really well on the side of Bait. Alpha, they're staying a little bit more clumped together. You know, they don't want to risk having those solo charge opportunities any longer. But the damage has been done as the lead grows all the way up to 10k now.
That it does. Alpha, I mean, they're still not out of the game yet, but it is looking rather detrimental at this stage. Mid lane, they are going to show themselves. I mean, Bait are around the corner. It's like he has queued up a BKB now on the TA, so realizing he does need that kind of immunity to try and survive these team fights. As Takaya now going to get jumped. Last off all land, Sticky Mob did not though, so Takaya is still barely alive, and Dendy feeling forced to pop the Rolling Thunder to ensure he can secure the kill safely. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Satoshi is being watched right now by Funnick, but they will not jump in. Too close by the tier 2 tower, I think, to go for that risky play. So Satoshi's going to be alright. But they are slowly starting to chip away at these tier 2 towers. Oh, Blessed Kid. He's the big target. Mid lane, Stonebank pops the Rupture. Blessed Kid, I mean, they're trying to come in and help. He's just dead. Dendy won't even die yet. Storm's going to zip in. Still, though, is basically out of mana again. He's going to walk away from this, but the rest of his team cannot do so. Takaya getting caught out.
Oh
Double charge again from Stominant. They will leave Steel alone as he does zip out, but they've got Satoshi. It's tough, John. It's a really tough one here for Alpha.
It's messy. Again, Bait they can just keep committing. They have no real cooldowns to wait for. To an extent, this is the kind of playstyle Alpha wanted to bring out as well. I mean, you've got Skyrat Mage and Beastmaster. You could just play around, look for these Roar, Mystic Flare opportunities. They just don't present themselves too well. Stonebank, though.
Oh, Stonebank. Whoopsie daisies. Something you don't really want to see if you're a bait supporter is Stonebank dying solo like that, but hey, he does get picked off. That's a big pick off here for the side of Alpha.
They find a good opportunity there. Good read coming out from Steel to understand that Stonebank's all alone, can be easily punished, didn't have any creep wave to kind of regen off of as well. So Bait, you're ahead. You're doing good. You're taking these fights. Do not give these opportunities away. Granted, it's not enough to really bounce Alpha back in, but you know, 2, maybe 3 more kills like that onto a solo Bloodseeker, that's when things get maybe a little bit too spicy. So just have to watch out.
Yeah, I mean, Bait will run their way out here, not willing to risk taking a fight right now without their carry. Just the thing, like with Stonebank dying, like you die like that, you give Blesskid so much opportunity to come back in terms of net worth. And I mean, he's only 2.5k behind now as the TA, which isn't really too bad at all. Like, sure, you want to be ahead as a TA, but considering where you were just a few moments ago, you are slowly but surely catching up. And that's not to say as well, like, Steel's doing a pretty damn good job of keeping up in net worth to boot. It's about 10.5k now as the Storm, and certainly is getting to the point where you are seeing a lot of impact in these fights as Steel. Even if they aren't winning the fights overall, I think the kills that they are getting is purely based off Steel jumping in and finding the right targets.
Yeah, he's been identifying these isolated heroes really well. He's been maybe a little bit on edge, trying to maximize his mana pool, but when it does work, it does pay off. Still, Bait are out for another smoke. 3-man smoke here, every spell off cooldown. Then he's got the blink to kind of get some good angles here if they find something. Alpha, a lot more disciplined. They are hanging way further back. There's an Obs Ward that did spot Steel at the least. But in that area, and they'll just gun for the Roche. Why not? You've got the output. You know the side of Alpha is not in position to contest. Take this early objective up, have a secondary life to kind of go for the high ground, or just look for these fights across the map, maybe a tier 2 at the least. And it just, again, it's a slow but sure, very safe, yet also pretty clean play from Bait to not provide any openings.
Fantastic play here from Bait. Free Roshan to go their way. Alpha, I mean, all they could afford to really do in that situation, I think, is just take the time to keep farming. Just accept the blessing that you get. So they are certainly not out of this game one yet here. Alpha, they could still pull off a bit of a comeback against Bait, and it would be a bit of a miracle comeback, but comeback nonetheless. Bait is starting to swarm that dire jungle area. Alpha, I still think want to just play the avoid game for now. I don't think you're too interested in trying to force anything unnecessary yet. There is a blink being queued up as well on Blesskid, so even though he does have the BKB, he wants the blink up so he can really look to burst down those backline supports. And then after that, he's queued an MKB. So, I mean, you are getting to the point where this TA is going to start to really hurt.
Yeah, I'd say she already does hurt. It's just a matter of getting her into these fights. Until that blink is up, it's a little bit awkward. Bait again, though, going for another smoke play out. They might be able to catch a big clump up here, and Alpha's all grouped up for this push.
Here we go. Bottom lane to Kaya. He's been very unfortunate in being the first one to die every team fight, and it might not be too different here as he does get caught out, and so does Braxy. Both of them getting silenced up by the Blood Rite. Oh, and they even found Blesskid. Nether Strike to hold him down. Blesskid still trying to find a way to survive through this. But Stonebank is getting right to work. Heaven's Halberd out as well, not allowing the TA to fight back. So they do take him down. Satoshi, he'll desperately try to TP out of this and we'll get away with it. But now they've left Still behind. And Stomina will not connect with the charge. Funnick, he had Cookie in one. Not in time, sadly, for Funnick. Nevertheless, though, 3-for-1 trade. Denny, the only one to go down. Aegis is still intact. And it looks like Bait, they are still in full control of this game.
They certainly are. They're in the driver's seat. They take that Roshan. They feel confident. with that Aegis ready. It is a little bit challenging to pierce these objectives just purely off of the zips coming out from Steel. So he's doing a fine job of just stalling out a little bit more onto the push. But for the most part, this game is still really hard for Alpha. It's still recovery mode coming out from them. You need a little bit more from Blessed Kid. He does now DQ the Blink Dagger and opts for the MKB, which I don't fault him for. At the same time, I mean, it's hard for the TA to get a good position.
Lodine's actually surviving the onslaught of Alpha right now as they look to turn it around. Bait, I don't know how they got their techies out of there. Stompman was there to save the day, and now, oh, they've got a Beastmaster on their hands. Satoshi not going to look to survive this one, I don't think. Dendi also fighting Tokaya. That'll be another. That's going to be demoralizing. I mean, it was basically 3-4 heroes onto a techies, and they just still couldn't get the kill. Spraxy now at least able to TP out, but Bait, they'll find some T2 towers out of this, I'm sure.
Should be able to find mid. Again, clean moves out from Bait, backing each other up, getting some space out for Lodine. For Alpha, we just haven't seen the strength of this lineup. We've seen maybe a couple of plays with a Mystic Flare, not enough to have that impact you'd want it to have. You need way more time for Blessed Kid to work out in this core matchup. I love that Stonebank is just going back for the Basher, has the full Mjolnir, feels really good. You can just kind of get that active off as well in Staminin, as he will just charge in. So a really good hero to give that Mjolnir active to, the static charge, of course. And they invade the Tormentor, which Alpha has just not been able to touch in a while. They still have their own Tormentor up here as well, along with their own Wisdom Rune. They should be able to find that. And it's just a cascading effect right now for Alpha. This feels like one of the worst case scenarios where you come out of the lanes really weak. Like, you don't have control over your Tormentor. You don't have control over your Wisdom Rune. You're forced to farm up, which is fine, but it's these new map objectives that make it oppressive. Like, the level deficit you'll have in your supports just doesn't feel good when you're up against a level 16 Spirit Breaker and a level 13 Techies right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty tough affair as oopsie daisies. A bit of commitment there for an illusion. It happens. Bait maybe getting a little bit too excited. Nevertheless, the Rolling Thunder, Nether Strike both down, but not the longest cooldowns. It's going to give Alpha maybe another 70 seconds of peace before they come running at them again. What can you do?
Yeah. Just to relish those moments of peace. Try to get something on the map. Keep getting that build up. Free Shard coming out for Funnick off that Tormentor take. Does have the upgraded cookie. I'll say one thing. The change to Universal for Snapfire is pretty interesting because she does do a lot of damage, but I always felt like where Snaps try to sneak in a heart when they can, if they are going for the damage build-up. Now you're much more open. Smoke out from Alpha, though.
Yeah, they could find a big pick off Stonebank. He's the one they really want. Never getting the BKB off in time, but will eventually get it off as now Braxy gets ruptured up. Kisses are out. They want at least something for their trouble, and they're going to find the Skywrath as in comes Stompman, and the man just doesn't stop. He'll just go all the way. Satoshi needs to run, but Beta chasing him down. Cookie is out. A nice blood ride. It'll still land on Satoshi. He could not find a way to avoid it. Who else can they pick off? Stompman hits onto Takaya with the charge. Nether Strike out as well. Takaya dropping low, but Stompman may have gone a bit too fast. Still, he'll Shadow Blade. Cookie down to the low ground. He's made it out.
God.
Stompman will not die. The Shadow Blade paying off as a Spirit Breaker. He just charges his way back down to the bot lane. Off you go, son.
That's just ridiculous. Stompman just escaping with a sliver of HP. No punishment really coming out from Alpha. Alpha, at the least, their high ground still holds. You can't fully commit on this push from Bait. You kind of, maybe wait for the next Roshan again. Maybe just wait for more stats on Stonebank at this point. A 19k lead for Alpha. I'm not sure what's to be done. Like, this MKB on Blessed Kid still feels good, but your timings to play with your Roar plus Mystic Flare, your Vortex plus Mystic Flare, it feels like it has faded away a little bit. And it's just Bait in the driver's seat. You know, they can do what they want. Manta plus Diffusal and Dendi just doing a lot of work having his own Dispel on hand makes it a lot harder to find some control for the Pangolier as well. And they take all the outer towers. So again, not quite high ground moments yet. Roshan, we'll see in about half a minute how long that respawn is. But Bait have executed very well. They understand their timings. They understand his tempo. They get a really good lane coming out for Stonebank. And it just doesn't... It hasn't felt like Alphas have ever had any answer so far for what Bait's bringing to the table.
No, they certainly have not.
For the twins.
Alpha 20k behind now. I mean, it's... I keep saying they're not out of the game yet, John, and I'm not wrong in saying that, but it's a tough position. All the weight on Bleskid's shoulders at this stage. Charge out from Stominant. It's going to be onto what looks like a creep, I think. Bait hanging around the right side of the map. There's your MKB now on the TA. I'm not sure if this is like some huge timing for the TA, but this is the best they've got. Even a Lincoln Sphere now coming out on steel, so he might be able to help avoid the rupture on somebody. And, I mean, you might need to pop a smoke and go now as Alpha. Like, it might be your best chance so far, as they do find Dendi. This would be a great pick-off if they can get him. He'll swashbuckle away. He does man to dodge the concussive shot as well. Now with the Rolling Thunder, Dendi is on his way out. Dendi is on his way out on 50 HP. And Stominant comes in. He's found a no mana storm. Still trying to run. The Nether Strike gonna hold him down. Mystic Flare though. Stonebank. He lands on 3 with a cookie, but he's gone. Beta forced the team fight. They didn't need a force. Dendi was fine. Lodine. High ground tries to TP out. Is not gonna make it. Alpha. They actually find 3 for nothing. What the hell is happening?
Bait, this time they get baited themselves. Kind of taking a pretty rough fight. And they want to back up Dendi. They feel like they can charge in. They got the kisses going really early. They didn't manage to get the chain stuns they'd want onto steel. And that just leads to that opportunity where they're clumped up. Yes, you get the cookie, but because kisses were already out earlier, like you don't have that follow-through AoE damage. Pangolier was out. Dendi had to heal up. So you don't have the nuking damage to play there. And all of a sudden, it's now Alpha. They have this Roche threat. Roche is spawned down bot. With the Deso up and the MKB on your TA. Again, Roshan's a big take. A really quick objective for Alpha to find. And it equalizes the game quite a fair bit. Granted,
It does.
Alpha still has a lot of objectives to go through. At the same time, I mean, Bait has lost a lot of net worth just off the back of that one fight.
Yeah, they're trying to get there for the Roshan. It's going to be too late. Bait, they're going. Stominant, he's charging, and he's not pressing the S button. He is not stopping. He moves right in. Where's the detection? There's your dust out. He's going to try and go after Bleskid. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Dendi's been caught as well with the Mystic Flare. He's going to go down. Oh, Alpha. They are really starting to fight back now with Stonebank. Where the hell are you going, sir? He'll pop his BKB. It's not going to be enough. I don't think anyway. Is they'll eat the cheese. Stonebank, he does at least find the Aegis of the Storm. He'll heal up a little bit. It's Stonebank versus the world. In fact, he found Bleskid. He'll find another. There goes Praxi as well. But he is down. He is down on the Bloodseeker as Alpha. They will still clear them out. There was a moment where you thought maybe this Bloodseeker will keep going with the heals coming, but still not enough.
They put a valiant effort on Bait. They lose a little bit more than it's probably worth. You managed to clear the Aegis out on Steel, so you kind of neutralize the objective. You forced out the cheese as well. So overall, Alpha has gained literally nothing except these kills off the back of that Aegis, but you're still kind of okay with that. Again, from a 16k lead all the way down to 8k now for Bait. These fights just scrappy, maybe a little bit forced out. Like Stominant just constantly running in. Granted, no detection, but it's your team's not ready. You couldn't play with the kisses there in Funnick. It was a pretty good compressed area for a great kisses to get channeled through as well. And, well, the side of Alpha. Again, they're finding certain wins here, Mike. They have growth, they have high ground defense with a Storm that can zip across, so you can stall this game really well. They've got the blink up now as well, and Satoshi for some good angles to get some big roars. We need some items to come out here for Stonebank, right? Like, the Bloodseeker has just sort of been melting to the output right now in Alpha. The Scotty's going to help the cause. A Basher helps him keep these heroes in place. I'd like to see down the line, maybe even a Basher on Dendi. We don't see it that often on Pangolier, but it does feel like any additional control you can leverage out of BKB is just really important right now.
Oh, that it is, John, that it is. Alpha. AK disadvantage now for Alpha, but it's nothing compared to what they were just up against. Still a 60% win probability for Bait, but my oh my, the momentum has swung. Alpha, they're going to pop a 5-man smoke. They want to go. They're feeling cocky, or rather confident, I should say, because they have been winning every single team fight in Funnick. He will get caught to start with. Stominant going to move in. Charge immediately cancelled off. Takai getting a little bit unlucky, still in the little shredder. Not exactly what you need. And that'll be about it. Both sides kind of throw some shots at each other, but nothing really amounts from it.
Yeah. You don't really waste anything major as well from either side. It's not like we saw any BKBs committed from that exchange of pleasantries. So you still have your tools in your tool belt here for both sides. I'm getting a little bit worried about, again, Stonebank. Like, it feels like every time he gets jumped first like that, it's always scary, especially if his team's not around. He's just randomly farming. And the punishment you can dish out onto Bloodseeker is significant. The full Scotty is up and running though, so Stonebank will take a little bit more time to die. The slow is going to be useful. The healing reduction could be nice, although.
Jump in. They have found the techies. Lowdine is gone. Nice pick off again from Still on the Storm.
Vision game has been really on point from Alpha. Like, these wards have given them all these kills. Just able to play around that information. Steel's just willing to jump in. He feels like he's big enough on the Lincolns, and quite frankly, he is. With Lincoln Shivas, it's not a fight that you can counter-initiate on easily. We talked about the shortcomings on Bait with their draft. It was always going to be the Storm, right? Like, you just never had stable hold for the Storm. Your best bet is really that Shadow Blade charge still, but it doesn't feel like anyone else is quick enough to back Stominant up when he gets some of these longer charges off. So they need more coming out here from Bait as Alpha. I mean, you're number one in net worth now for a Blessed Kid. Like, the TA scaling up against the Bloodseeker, it's pretty good. You've got the range advantage. You can just kind of kite this Bloodseeker around a little bit as long as no one drops too low in HP. For Bait, we need to see some team fights line up here. We need to see Dendi get some good rolls.
Yeah, I mean, he has been getting picked off quite often, like, as soon as the fights start. It's so detrimental, like, a couple team fights lost in that way, and suddenly you just don't have it anymore. As well, Bait, they are moving in once again. Keep in mind, Funnick is reaching that point where he's going to hit that level 20 and 25 talent as well. The problem is he doesn't have any damage items to speak of, but you are getting to a stage where Funnick can basically turn into his own kind of carry. If he can get like a Daedalus or something, which he will require to actually have some damage coming up.
You say you need damage, but at the same time, you're a universal type in Snap. You have way more base damage right now in comparison to before. Like, I believe 189 before. At this point, you'd be at 150, I think. If I recall my Snapfire right-click damage right, because I used to want to build Heart. Now it's just not necessary as they get a charge.
They're going to find a Rubik. The McCabe committed, but they do just perma-stun him up. They know he's there somewhere, and Takai is going to go down. Not the biggest kill in the world, but, you know, it's a start here for Bait once again.
They need to get some D wards off on Bait. Like, these cliff wards are still up. It gives so much information out for Alpha. They had a sentry.
Oh, Steel?
It's in range.
Steel? Dendi? He jumps in. Steel's very low on mana right now. He needs some help. He doesn't know Stominant's there either. Stominant making the jump in now as he's completely out of mana. He's got the help incoming. Braxy feeding him mangoes, trying to help him out. It might be enough, but he can't get to the high ground. Oh, Steel's down. Braxy will drop with him. And now they find another. They've got the TA held down. Blessed Kid is going to drop.
Next time.
Braxy, Braxy tried so hard, John. Braxy tried so hard to keep the storm alive, I'll tell you. He mangoes him. He uses the Pervice on him. And it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough in the end.
And that's the kind of opening that Bait needed to find. They doubled their lead once more from 6k to 12k, and they've got this opportunity to go high ground. Look at Funix damage. 211 plus 12. Lil Shredder up. Granted, he didn't take the plus 2 Lil Shredder attacks, but it's still a good amount of output when he can machine gun through.
What's he buying, though? He's got a Demon Edge queued up. Is he going for the Daedalus? Yeah, he is.
It should be, yeah. Just more damage, you know, at this point. You're just a secondary core. Kind of ridiculous. Like, normally, universal type for Snap doesn't matter until this point, but you reach this point in the game, and then you feel that difference. 2 bracers, pipe, octarine, halberd. Still 200 per right click.
Bait. I mean, they are still being forced back thanks to Tokaya, still on that blood right. 240 pure damage. Nothing to scoff at here, and Beta being very cautious because they understand how quickly the game can be thrown back the other way based off what happened earlier. They're back in the lead now. They don't want to throw it back again the way of Alpha, because it is their game to lose considering the state of the game at the moment. Alpha. You're almost getting into that Divine Rapier territory for Blessed Kid. You may as well just go all in at some stage as this TA. There's your Daedalus now.
I want to see some of those crits from Funnick. How fat are they? Should be decently fat. A good amount of damage. Blessed Kid does have the full Lincolns up, so a little bit more protection there. I suppose that is one thing with the Spirit Breaker. Like, you get multiple Lincolns, Spirit Breaker actually does nothing, but we're not at that point with multiple. Still, smoke out from Alpha. They know Roche is about to happen here, or is happening.
They are going to try and infiltrate Alpha. We're going to move in. Roshan still happening, but Rolling Thunder is going to be popped. Dendy Dendy, he's on the Twin Gates at the moment. He's in the wrong place at the moment, Dendy. Oh, Snowbank's been caught.
Oh my god.
They read the fight wrong. They thought they were coming in through the Twin Gates. That was not the case. Uh-oh. They've lost Funnick as well.
God.
Roshan now completely open for Alpha.
Buybacks.
I was so
80-second
confused.
respawn. I thought they had to read. I thought they had a sentry for the Hawk, so they saw it coming from north and they're taking position there. The gate to fall places, they didn't even have vision on the gate. You can see the channel if you have vision on that area. And I don't know. That's a big, honestly, a little bit of a big throw. Like, they lose their entire lead. 1k advantage only. Secondary life available on Steel. Cheese up as well. 40 seconds without these 2 cores. Like, that's your opening for high ground. And it will just melt. This is TA plus Beastmaster after all. It doesn't take too long.
Very, very quick here for Alpha. Fate gonna be feeling a little bit silly if they lose this game. Now the net worth is completely even between these two teams. In fact, Alpha will take the lead. Win probability 65% their way. You see the graph's been a real roller coaster here. Bait, I mean, just a couple of small mistakes just costing them so much.
It's the story of the game, really, right? Like, we've seen Bait kind of make these small mistakes in succession, and that leads to these opportunities for Alpha to bounce back in, to have some presence, to have some control, to take the reins back in this game. 1 racks up, and they're in a good spot. And for Bait, I mean, something's not lining up. This is the same issue we've been seeing every now and again. It just feels like at some point it's a bit disconnected in what they'd want to do and what ideas they have. And Alpha, they tie it in. Right after a slow lane, they just tie it in. Now you have the Hex out on Steel. More instant control on the zip in. Like, it's not going to feel good for Bait. They've got to be the ones to get the jump here. Somehow, they need to have Stalemate find some heroes, play with that Silver Edge, and be ready to back him up. There's been a couple of times where Stalemate goes in and there's no one there to help him. And it just leads to a free kill.
Zip in, Dendi again being the primary target as the Hex is out. They've got the Pango once again with the Mystic Flare. He's got no chance. Dendi is down. Buyback is available. But he may need to commit it. If Alpha decide they're going high ground for a secondary Rax, you've got no choice here but to commit as Dendi. I mean, you can try to defend just high ground with the Blood Ride and the Techie spam, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Blessed Kid is hitting way too hard now as the TA.
Just
Look
not.
at that, just doesn't even need to stand within the mines. Lift is out, Dominant. Gonna charge in. Denny's holding out on buying back. And he does have the Rolling Thunder, but he wants to probably see a nice initiation before he does go in. Problem is, he might need to be that initiation. So they will Nether Strike. They have found themselves a Rubik. Takaya gonna go down. Now the buyback is there. Dendi, he's making his way over, but Steel is just melting them along with Blessed Kid. Dendi is too late to the party. They're still gonna try. Disarm is out onto the TA. He's got a cheese available. He will eat it, but the Rolling Thunder continuing to stun him up. Still also getting caught out. Blessed Kid is gone, and they've even found the Storm. That'll be the Aegis down. See if they can find him a second time. A very nice charge from Storm, and gonna hold down Storm, but Steel is still fighting back. Hex is out once again onto Stonebank as he will Blood Ride.
my God.
Continuing the fight. Back in onto the Beastmaster. He'll heal up a bit more. Can they keep this going? Alpha, they're falling down one by one. Praxis set to fall as well. He's going to go down, but in comes Takaya. In comes Steel. The Vortex is there. Stonebank is still manning up. What an absolute Giga Chat. He'll keep going, but he's down. He is down as Steel will get tipped by Takaya. Stominant hoping for a bash. No, he'll go for the charge instead. Unfortunate.
What? Why did he run off in the first place?
Braxy, this is a risky play, sir.
Brought
All by
back.
himself. Bash, very nice. Braxy, really competent here, and Stominant's going to be backing off. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I get this one on the Skywrath Mage, but the Storm, in the instant back off, if he managed to break the Lincolns with at least one of his spells, get the stun afterwards, you would have at least evened out that fight, but so many issues coming out. Like the Ags for Steel, this follow-up control to hold him in the AoE, it's getting painful for Bait. BKBs are down to a very low duration on Stonebank, only 6 seconds where he's free to run around. And the side of Alpha, again, they're executing really well at this point in the game. BKB up and running now as well for Satoshi. So he feels free in the middle of these fights. Blink up for Blessed Kid into the Swift Blink next once he has some buyback gold ready. And Bait have lost what was a very clear advantage. They're playing on the back foot. They have to deal with 2 lanes of super creeps. They're scaling at this point. It feels like it tapers off a bit. Maybe when you hit that 25 on Funnick, it starts to feel better, but even then, the Snapfire has nothing defensive. No BKB of her own, nothing to save. The moment these fights start from just a Storm zip into Vortex, it looks really over if you're not careful.
Well, here we go, Alpha. I mean, they're going to try one last time to go high ground again, just get that final lane of barracks, but no, they're going to back off. Maybe wait for the next Roshan now. It's kind of crazy that we've gotten to the stage of the game, like almost 50 minutes in, considering how dominant the first 20-30 minutes was by Bait. Just, I think it was 2 lost team fights and it was all, you know, it was just a complete turnaround. Is Beta going to hold high ground now? Alpha, obviously hoping for an early Roshan, but we're going to find out in about a minute 15 seconds when it is going to spawn up. It'll give time for Stonebank to build up this Abyssal Blade he's looking for. The issue is he needs like another core that can hit hard, I think, because like Steel is top net worth right now on the Storm. He's just doing so much work. So is the TA naturally, but I always go back to the Storm. If Alpha pull off this win, like Steel is probably the guy that opened the door for them, right? With all those zip plays he was making. Because we are going to go for a charge, Braxy. That's a lot of damage. Stomping it, trying to go for the Nether Strike, not going to be there yet. In fact, he does get caught out by Steel. He's down.
God. That's optimistic to say the least. I think you're at the point in the game where Skyrat Mage does have enough armor, does have enough durability to survive through a charge. And it's not very likely Alpha splits up where you can just get these solo pickoffs. And Steals around, gets the Vortex, and that's more than enough. You get the counter control.
Funnick having a bit of a laugh to himself with that voice line, I think. I'm pretty sure Funnick's probably very unhappy right now with the way this game's gone.
There's no way anyone's happy about this game right now. This is... Oh, it's rough for Bait. It's so funny to say that because it's been rough for Alpha for at least a good 25 minutes this game. 25 to 30 minutes. It felt rough for them, but they hold out and they make it work.
Funnick, at this point, you just forget the team exists. Just go buy a Divine Rapier, hit level 25, hope for the best. That's what I would do if I was Funnick.
He needs a BKB.
You think
There's no way he survives. Yeah, I mean, he's been dying, dude. He has nothing defensive. What does he do? Run in, try to get in range for a little Shredder, no Dragon Lance, no added range, and then just dies to Vortex and all the damage coming out from this TA? They need at least a couple more BKBs. Like, just be able to stand and hit without worrying about the repercussions. Which is big as Funnick's being hunted.
That he is, Funnick. I suppose he probably does need a BKB. He's caught out again. Bye-bye, Funnick. Unfortunate. And at least he got his 25.
Oh, okay, that's pretty big. And, you know, you have your buyback, so it's not as bad as Dominant rushing in by himself and dying without buyback. So you have time to recover. This game is... How do we reach this point, Mike? How were we 50 minutes in after a 16k lead early on?
Yeah, that's a good question,
I'm confused right now.
It's a very good question you're asking there. I mean, we might get to see tier 5 items at least. That's kind of nice.
You're trying to curse it, aren't you, Mike? I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Every time we say this, it never happens.
No. But you were casting a game in SEA and it went for like 78 minutes or something and they didn't have a tier 5 item.
Yeah, that was Boom Esports. Pretty sure Mushi
was.
pulled out the ruler, whipped some fingers.
I mean, they lost as well, didn't they?
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
That was jumping into the minefield side, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Natsumi, my boy, my fellow John, as Alpha, and their John's at heart, going for the Roshan with the free Ags now. And now the high ground is really opened up. That is going to good old Satoshi as well. So the drums of Slom are in gear.
Uh-oh.
I know how you stop this.
Well, they've smoked up, John. It's going to be a very hard ask to try and stop this. I think maybe some buybacks. At the very least, they're probably going to be committed here for this defense. Alpha. Here we go. Through the bot lane, Stonebank's going to reveal himself, but the Hex is out immediately. Stonebank is probably just dead and he's gone. That's one down. He does have buyback available. Meanwhile, Funnick did literally no damage with his multi-shot, little Shredder, sadly, so that's a little bit sad for him. Charge out. Yeah. They found Takaya. Aeon Disc is procced. Takaya, I mean, he's literally just juking by standing still. They don't get him. He's alive, and now Alpha, they're onto the bot lane. Zip in, Vortex is there from Steel, Roar is out, Lowdine is gone. Funnick is probably also about to die, but no, he barely gets away with the disarm as Stominan's going to charge in. He's onto the TA. Maybe they can do it. Maybe they can deal with Alpha as they've got the TA controlled up and he's gone. Buybacks are coming. Satoshi. He's trying to come back in. Still, He's got the Aegis at the very least, but he's completely surrounded. Can they time it? Cookie. Oh, it's on the
Oh
mark.
my god. What?
Hold on a goddamn minute, Jonathan. This game is not over.
I
don't know.
Alpha take a fight in two fronts.
Yeah.
With the zip really far across, your TA is disconnected there on the other side. And they overextend. What? I'm confused. But who's not confused is Bait. This is a victory for them. Look at that graph, Mike. It's recovering. We are to the moon, as they say. Look at that graph. It reminds me of crypto.
We are,
By
we
the
are
dip.
to the moon right now. Wait. Bait. Into the mid lane they go.
Oh my god. I don't know
they
if
have
anyone's happy
buybacks.
about this game, Mike. I don't know if anyone is.
Oh, Dandy,
Oh,
be
no.
careful, sir. Braxy does a lot of damage with the Mystic Flare. They get a mid-Rax. You know, that's a start, Jonathan. That's a start. The top Rax is open as well, don't forget. This is from a long time ago. It's still open. I know you might have forgotten, because I sure did, but it's still sitting there open.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, right now, Funix queuing up that Divine you mentioned. He is going for it. He feels like he doesn't need protection. This is
True,
my
true.
issue, though. You show in the lane, you get run down and hexed, and then you lose that Divine. Oh, well.
Ah, he's got it. He's got it.
Just don't show in
He's
lane,
done it, John.
Funix. Don't show in lane.
That's it, though. Like, you just need to hide now. He's got a blink dagger. He just hide in the fog, pop a little shredder,
Oh my-
jump in, delete
Funny-
some people, and Stomping?
What's he?
He has buyback. Stomping literally doesn't believe in cancelling charge.
No, he doesn't.
Stomping, if he presses charge, he's going. This guy's a real man.
I mean, do you remember Stallman was the dude who went for Midas Ags Skyrat Mage? He is
Yeah.
this madman. This is within
He's
his
crazy.
playbook.
He's
Look,
doing it again.
Again.
Oh, I thought it was on the TA. It's not on the TA. It's on the lane. It's all right. It's all right. He knows what he's doing.
I feel like every time he does this, Bait either just completely ignores him and just don't consider him as a hero anymore. So they just imagine it's a 4v5. So they don't feel bad when Stamina dies, or every time he charges, their heart rate just skyrockets. It's either or.
He's
Like
gonna
this
do
right
something
now.
here, John. Oh no. No. At least he got the bulldoze off. Stomin, why are you doing this?
Another gem.
Come on,
No
Stomin.
one even wants it. Oh, no, things there. All right. They see it.
Well,
least he has
buyback,
buyback.
at least. He's got buy. He can bring himself
Yeah.
back in the game.
Yeah, not
This
like
is why
last time.
Funny built a Divine Rapier, John. You see? You would too if you had a Spirit Breaker in your team doing this crap. I'm buying Divine. Screw it.
Are you speaking from experience from your own damn games, Mike?
Not my Spirit Breaker, Jonathan. I'm a perfect Spirit Breaker player. I would never charge into a full enemy team.
I don't
with
think
nothing but
you're
myself.
perfect. You cancel charges, Mike.
Here we go, John. Satoshi's jumped in. Rushes out immediately, but he's going to pop the BKB. But Funny, the Divine Rapier damage. I think they've noticed something's wrong with Funny's hero at the moment because everyone backs off as soon as Satoshi dies.
Oh my god. This game is... I'm grinning so badly because I don't know what's happening. My mouth's been stuck in a grin, Mike. It hurts. It hurts.
It's a fun game. It's a fun. And the best part is we're probably going to miss out on tier 5 items too. Like there's 2.5 minutes left, but
Hey,
we're
you're the one who
guaranteed
said
to not
this,
get
Mike.
them.
You're the one who cursed us, you know?
Yeah,
No one else to blame but yourself.
it's just
lot of things in
incredible
my
how.
life.
Bot lane. Hold on a minute. Funnick.
Oh,
We talked
my
about this.
God. This game can't be
What's
real.
that? What?
This game can't be real.
But they were going mid.
Not for myself.
It was 4v5. Oh, they were going mid. Well, you just go for the ancient. It was 4v5 anyway.
Oh, look at the graph. This is why you don't buy the dip,
I love
guys. It
this
never
game.
rises up.
This is a great game.
It never
This is my
rises
favorite
back
game.
up.
Bless kid, don't. Be careful,
doing?
sir. He's just running up the triangle. They won't take the bait. They won't take it though. Braxy to Kaya. Here we go. Charges this. Stomin will jump in. One right will connect. The Glimmer Keep will save for now. Meanwhile, Bleskid gonna get disarmed here. Stonebank, he'll jump in. It's a big jump, but still's there with the Divine Rapier. It's just doing no damage though. He's still trying, but Stonebank man's up. He's got the TA down, and now they've got the Storm.
What?
Divine Rapier has been returned back to its rightful team. Who's throwing harder is the question in this game. I tell you, who is throwing harder? Takaya. Takaya now caught out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lift
Why are
is
they
there,
pushing?
Takaya.
Come on. Take something. Stonebank, please. Why are we,
Like, that's
why are
gonna
we
take me back to the
farming, guys? What's happening?
They've got no lanes. They have to push out waves. They've got zero lanes to push.
Waves. Yeah, I suppose so. But they're respawning at 50. There's still a buyback left. I can't even. I'm not gonna explain anything. Like there's nothing to explain.
Tier 5 items. Tier 5 items, John.
Okay, that's what they're waiting for. Alright, come on. Someone. Oh,
Braxy?
this is not a tier 5 item.
No, it's not. But it might be a tier 5 kill. It bashes her out. Braxy, he's gone. Look at that, John. Stygian Desolator now available for funny.
Oh,
He's keeping it. Woo!
Now
Let's
he
go,
just needs
Funny.
a rapier back. You know.
Yeah, well, I don't think Stonebank's providing the rapier back, sadly, John. He's holding on to it for dear life.
To be fair, you know we've also seen Stonebank just
look at
stand in the
Stonebank.
lane.
Oh, Giants ring for Satoshi. With the drums. He's a big boy.
He doesn't look that big.
No,
Oddly
he
enough.
hasn't got it on yet, John.
Oh,
It's in the
okay.
backpack.
Put it on. Oh, smoke up. Oh,
He's a big boy with the drums out. That drum kit just doubled in size.
we should got
bait
deeper
they have
in
backed
volume
up.
as well. You know, like
Yeah.
it's a real deep dunk instead of the higher pitch snare drum we have. Just a deeper bass drum. You know, give us something like that. Would be funny. Then he pops the BKB and it grows deeper. Then it's just a 1 decibel, 1 hertz note. And you can't hear it. I want that.
Still. This is a big pick off. They can get it. He's 46k net worth, Jonathan, and he's got no buyback gold. He's 150 short. His net worth is
Classic.
46,000 gold, but he's got no buyback gold available.
Buyback, dude. Just don't die.
His buyback costs like 5k. Look at it. He's so farmed. His buyback costs 5,000 gold almost.
Oh,
Oh, another Giants ring. Is that a Dendy Giants ring we give to?
No, it's
Like,
Stonebank.
isn't it? What's
Got the
Dendy gonna
token
take then?
first.
He's got a tier 5 item. Oh, the mirror shoe. Okay.
That's safe, but it's not as funny as a giant tango.
Well, isn't
Fair.
that better? Like, yeah, I guess he just didn't get lucky with it, but you'd
No,
much
I'm-
prefer the giant pango.
I thought every team has the same selection. Is it randomized per player? I actually forget the
That's a
patch.
good. Well, I've never gotten to the point where we're at a tier 5 item, so.
Ooh, Blood Mist!
Listen, you-
Blood Mist, let's go!
Oh no. He actually
Stonebank
took the axe.
based player.
Charge. Satoshi caught out again. Satoshi is down, no buyback available.
Look at that
Alpha
overheal.
are in a very dire position.
Look at that barrier, dude. You heal up, you get an overheal barrier.
Are you talking
Just
about
have
blood
more
misting it,
HP.
are you?
Yeah, it's the Blood Mist. Look at that overheal. Look at that. Look at this barrier. 800 additional EHP. For free.
Oh, he's a tanky boy. He is a tanky boy, I'll give him that. Very slow, but tanky.
Yeah,
Very lore friendly as well, like just walking that slow, being that big.
that is true.
I like that.
That is true. I want to see him. Does he have the taunt? I want to see him taunt while being big. Sounds pretty fun. I don't think this gives you the license to just walk around freely in lanes too, to be fair. You still have to be scared of this Hex. But yeah, we're 63 minutes in. We're back to a 12k lead. Basically, the last 14 minutes were just filler. This is the actual end plot.
There is 2 mirror shields, by the way, on bait, so they can have the same items.
Yeah, there you go.
We've established that.
Dire's bottom tower
I'm sad that Stolman doesn't have a tier 5 item token. All jump in. Funnick caught out immediately. An AoE Vortex from Steel going to catch 2 of them. Funnick's down. Dendy now being targeted still. He's hitting very, very hard, but needs to back off as the rupture. Now the charge. Stonebank jumping in. Steel is down. He doesn't have buyback. He bought the Ethereal Blade. He hasn't got the... Oh, he hasn't got the gold. He's 120 gold short. They've got time. The gold's ticking down. 102, 101. But they've got time to get the megas if they realize. Where's the creeps? Even the creeps are trying to help this storm out.
Dire's top barracks.
He's got buyback now. They picked up the bounty. Braxy got one.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Buyback is available for the storm. They're going to need it for this last defense. Dendy looking to back off. We'll walk away. 1 melee barracks left standing here for Alpha. Mind you, we're 64.5 minutes in. It's not like the mega creeps are going to matter that much, but they will certainly help. They're looking to go in for the last racks. Keep in mind, the Storm does now have buyback. You have got it available. He's just waiting for the perfect moment to go for the buyback zip and AoE Vortex. Leskid gonna buy a refresh orb now as well. Half HP is the racks. They have found Stonebank. There's your buyback. Still zipping right in. Raw committed. Stonebank is gone. Divine is on the deck once again. Has still found 3 with a massive vortex.
Oh my-
Funnick's
no,
gone.
no.
Lowdine is gone as well. Bait need to get the hell out of there. Get out, boys. It's not safe.
Blessed Kid has the divine.
Does it? I mean, we're this far in. Surely we'll have more than one.
No one has the gold, Mike. No one has
Really?
the gold. Maybe, oh what, you want a Stominant Divine after his charges? You trust him?
I still want Funning to pick up a couple divines, John. I'll be frank with you.
I don't think he has
Here he
the
goes.
gold either.
Stonebank's gonna find 2 wisdom runes, John. He's level 30. Does he pick them up?
Dire are scanning.
Yes. Just for your supports? Okay, someone please? Dendy? Stominant? Just charge a creep? Something? You love to charge? Ah, he's running. There you go. The gold all way.
Yeah.
Or not. Don't leave it there. Ah, whatever.
Did he? Still gonna have his Lincoln's broken. Stolman still doesn't have a tier 5 item, by the way. First kid.
Radiance rushes.
They're gonna jump in. They want the Divine Rapier back. Hex is out. Onto the Skyrath Mage now. Ag's being bought out by a Rubik, so just, you know, wants the Ags. I mean, this is super late game now. Just,
The
you want
tier 4s
everything
are
you
being
can get.
taken.
Oh, yes, they are. Tier 4 tier 4s
No
are
one's
under
coming
attack in the
back.
Dire Base. 1 tier 4 is gone. Stominant broke the Lincoln's Nether Strike is in. They're onto the TA, but they need some more help than that. Dendy immediately pops the Rolling Thunder,
No
but it is
way.
stolen. They've got it available now for Takaya. Takaya can help out with his Rolling Thunder. Meanwhile, Stominant is still going, but he is all by himself. And Stominant is down, but he does have buyback. Funnick will be back up in 5 as well, by the way. So they'll have 5 very soon.
They don't find too much. I don't think that's the biggest loss in the world. The last tier 4 is just going to be taken again. And then the Ancient's going to be exposed. They're going back now. So they hold on by virtue of the creeps playing the game.
Yeah, the creeps are doing it.
You know what this takes me back to, Mike? I casted a secret game in Div 2. This takes me back to that. We had some crazy stuff happen that game. We had Puppy eat a block of cheese on a silencer.
Oh, that's Pog.
We had a whole bunch of stuff that, quite frankly, I'm keen to see if Bait somehow wins. I've got a lot of questions. Mainly, it's going to be about this game. If Alpha wins, it's also going to be about this game because nothing will top this, Mike. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at what Lodine's doing. This is peak Techie's gameplay.
Yeah.
This is where we're
it.
at now.
He hasn't got the minefield sign, sadly. It's like the Ags upgrade, I mean. It could, like, it's probably not going to make any difference now, but, you know, with how hectic these team fights have been, it's not like they would think about it. It might be worth picking it up, but he's going for the Octarine core instead to have the lower cooldown on the proximity mines. How long could this game possibly go on? One of his kisses. Spent it very early on. He's trying to force them back and away. Honestly, it looks like they're trying to protect the mines being placed here by Lodine. These storm illusions is just destroying them. I can't believe both sides are 1 racks away from getting megas, but neither one can find it.
I mean, one side's 1 tier 4 away from the Ancient dying, but you know, what can you do? You're stuck here. This is Dota Purgatory.
If you're Stominant, right?
Yeah.
I think Stominant needs to buy an Ags and keep charging side lanes. Because you can clear the creep wave every single time you charge. They all just die to the charge hit. I think he should buy an Ags and just keep doing that. Because he can make it so this game just goes on infinitely by split pushing. I'm telling you, he can. I've won games just doing that, just charging side lanes when they're trying to push high ground.
Aren't you a dad, Mike? Don't you have better things to do? Don't you have a baby that you have to get out of your 1 hour game for?
No, absolutely not. She will wait. Right?
She'll understand when she's older.
I'm not abandoning the game. I ain't losing. I ain't no quitter, John.
She'll understand when she's older.
She's got a mother.
No.
She'll be right. She will understand one day, John, when she's a future TI winner.
Oh,
look at
these
this Steel's fan.
bounties. 500 plus gold for everyone. Gosh,
Yeah.
it's tasty.
It actually allows him to be able to afford buyback on the storm, which is kind of nice.
That's true. He's ready. He's ready for this move from Bait. Whatever this move is.
All right, Takaya gets the message now. He knows that they're around there somewhere, thanks to the charge of Stominant. Roshan is still not available, 55 seconds away. Both teams hanging around the Roshan pit, though. Thing is that the TA traps are giving plenty of information here to Alpha, so they are well aware. And keep in mind as well, he's got the Ags up, so the Psionic projection is up and ready to go for the TA, so he can be a little bit of a rat if he wants to.
Tried to sneak up for that push. Sneak up for an initiation. I'm surprised he doesn't have any traps in his base just to make sure no split push happens, but I suppose it's not a major concern.
Oh, zip in, 3-man vortex. Still, he's caught quite a few of them. It's a lot of damage, and Funnick's gone. Lodine trying to run as the tech. He's getting some mines out while he can. Is still dropping quite low himself for Satoshi. He's out with the raw now. They need to get out of there. Stominant trying to escape, but Stonebank's down. Stonebank does not have buyback. He did not save the gold, but he didn't have the buyback anyway, to be fair. It wouldn't have mattered if he had the gold. Stominant's down. That's got to be it. It's got to be GG. There's no way, unless the Ancient, the Dire Ancient was under siege.
Oh my god.
The creeps again, John. What? How? There's no way this game doesn't end after that team fight. Blesskid's going back for Roshan. I think that's a crazy play because Blesskid has been caught out.
Insane player.
If Blesskid dies, I might actually just cut off my internet and go home. I tell you right now, Blesskid, he's going to be okay. He will refresh.
Are you sure?
I hope so. He's going to BKB up. Blast off is there. Lodine does nothing. Dendy's going to survive. Charge through from Lodine, or rather Stominant, as now they've caught 2 of them. Steel's coming in as well. Dendy is eventually going to die. Lodine will do the same. 2 more down. Alpha, they want the Roshan first. They do not want to rush the base. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Just play for the safer objective. Surely this means Alpha has it, right? Like, Gage is up, another Ag's out. Who do you even give the Ags to? I suppose the Sky Rat, give it to Braxy. Have the double spells. Eventually find his Roche. Braxy has his Ags.
There's 25 seconds now for Stonebank. That's my issue. Is you could have rushed the base, right? I guess they didn't know that buybacks weren't available, but it's like, what happens if Stonebank respawns and wins a team fight? Like 4v5. They're not even pushing right now, so chances are it'll be a 5v5.
Yeah, there's a distinct possibility of that, Mike. I mean, to be fair, Blessed Kid almost lost his Divine Rapier, so I can understand why Alpha's
does it
being
even matter
extra
anymore?
cautious. I don't know if anything matters. I don't know if there's meaning behind anything, Mike.
No. Mega creep attempt number 50 here from Blessed Kid. They are going to move in. Lincoln's broken, Rupture out. Immediately the Hex is there as well, but they're going to try and jump in and fight this one out. Blessed Kid dropping very, very low. The Divine Rapier could be on the deck again. Blessed Kid, he's gone again.
No, but who?
But
where
they've
is it?
lost Stonebank.
Pick it up.
Stonebank is also down. He has buyback available, but the gold is not there. He can't rejoin the team fight. It's all up to Funnick and Stominant. They jump in. Satoshi's down.
Divine.
Steel has lost his Aegis. The Divine. Funnick, pick up the Divine. Oh, he doesn't get it. Instead, he'll jump onto Steel. The Storm's been in trouble. Steel's gone. Steel is gone. How are they still in this game? Steel is coming back in. Storminant's down. They've got the Mega jump.
The ancient, this is a base race. To go. Oh my God! It's not over.
This is the greatest game I've ever casted. This is it.
The Divine gets re-picked up by Blessed Kid. He just has it again. No one bothered to pick it up.
But he's got a free slot. I think he actually threw something out.
He ate the cheese, I think.
Oh my
He
God.
ate his cheese, but no one picked it up. Now, this surely ends here. The buck has to stop here.
It's gotta stop. Low 9, getting the mines down. Kisses are gonna be there as well. Alright, here we go. Blessed Kid's onto the tier 4 towers. It's falling very, very quickly. Mind you, he doesn't have a death, but it doesn't really matter. Still, gonna jump in straight away. Dendy's caught out. Lowdine's also caught out. Dendy will go down. No buybacks. I mean, Stonebank is respawning at 1, but the Ancient is being sieged as we speak. Surely he can't stop it, and he certainly cannot. Alpha have got game 1. Alpha have got the game 1 victory. I can't believe I'm saying that, Jonathan, but he has made it happen. Is that a blood mist I see?